Welcome to the Puck Prowlers podcast, your podcast for all things NHL, from spicy hot takes to everything else. And I'm Matthew Taylor, and this is Robbie Gauthier to my left.
Hi, guys. Super excited. We got our first ever guest on the show today. Not only is he the past captain of the 1980 Sault Ste. Marie House League champs, he's also my dad. Welcome, James Gauthier.
Thanks very much, guys. Great to be here. I'm a big fan of the podcast.
Well, thank you for listening to us. We're glad to have you on today.
So the topic we're going to be diving into today is actually hockey cards. Something that I know many kids have been a part of, many adults have been a part of, and it's really something that has always just resonated with the sport. So to kick us off, I've got a couple of trivia questions for these two to my right. And let's get started. Matt, I'm going to let you answer first just because I feel like James might know.
All right.
So my first question is, what 5 players have the most valuable hockey cards? So just as like a little disclosure, not the 5 most valuable, but the 5 most valuable players, because there is a player in there who's on there more than once. So the 5 most valuable players for hockey cards.
If I had to guess, I would say Gretzky's up there.
Give me your order.
Okay, Gretzky 1.
Okay.
Gordie Howe 2.
Okay.
I feel like McDavid's in there somewhere.
Okay.
But also he's still playing, so I don't know.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to put him at like 5.
You got to like think about how valuable the player is and like how old it is, you know? Because like time means money.
Yeah, well, still his rookie card could be worth a bit. But still, yeah, you're right. Those older cards. Lemieux probably, and Bobby Orr.
So you're going Wayne, Howe, McDavid.
No, McDavid 5, sorry.
Okay,
so Wayne, Howe, Orr, Lemieux, or McDavid.
Okay, Wayne, Howe, Orr, Lemieux, McDavid.
Yes.
Okay. James?
I think those are pretty good guesses, Matt. Definitely Gretter, number 1. Gordie Howe's got to be up there, too. I'd put him at 2.
Okay.
I would put Bobby Orr at 3.
Okay.
This is going to be boring. It's going to be almost the exact same list. I have a feeling Connor McDavid is also up there, even though he's not worthy yet. And I'm going to say number 5 is Maurice Richard.
Maurice. Okay. Well, I hate to say it, but both of you guys are wrong. Wow. Wayne is number 1. Okay. So you both got that one.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Props. There we go.
What did you guys have for your number 2?
Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe? Both of you Gordie Howe?
Oh.
Bobby Orr.
Okay. We had him in there, though.
Bobby Orr is number 2. Okay. And then number 3, who'd you guys have?
Bobby Orr.
Yeah, Bobby Orr.
Both of you had Bobby Orr. Okay, so it was Connor McDavid, actually.
Oh, wow.
So somehow Connor McDavid stuck in the mix. But I'm not surprised because even in, like, basketball, I know Steph Curry and LeBron have some of the most valuable hockey, just sports cards in general. And it's because of the, like, number on the card. So, like, the number it was produced at. So if it's, like, a lower number is one of the first cards produced of them, so the value will go up. So, yeah, so you got Wayne, Bobby Orr, McDavid. Then number 4... What'd you guys have?
I had Lemieux.
I had McDavid at 4.
Gordie Howe.
Okay.
So you're number 2. And then number 5, Sid the Kid.
Oh, wow.
Get out.
Sid. So 2 active players are actually in the top 5 right now, which is, I don't think that's just. I feel like the older the card, the better, but that's just my own opinion. And then I do have a follow-up question for the trivia question. How much do you think each one of those cards is worth? So it went Wayne, Bobby, Connor, Gordie, Sidney.
Okay, let's just clarify. When you say what it's worth, you mean like on average or mint condition or just the highest
How
price?
much that card was specifically worth.
So the highest price it ever traded for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, Matty, you want to go?
Oh, I don't even have a ballpark for range here, so let's.
I'll give you
Wow.
one clue. After Wayne Gretzky, it drops off significantly.
Yeah, but I don't even know where to start. Like, what's his highest card?
Okay, well, maybe a better question to start with is, what is the most valuable card ever sold at?
Hockey.
Yeah, hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, this seems like a good James question here.
You're looking for a ballpark.
Well, we know it's Wayne, right?
Yeah, it's Wayne.
It's Wayne. So what? Give it a guess, Matt.
Ooh. Let's say. I'm gonna say like $4 million.
$4 million? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little rich.
Okay.
I'd say 1.5 million.
So, Matt was actually closer. It's 3.75.
Okay,
Ah.
best 2 out of 3.
Well, it's best 3 out of 5, really.
Okay, so then the drop off. Now that I have a range.
So yeah, the Wayne Gretzky card, the most valuable one he's ever sold for, was 3.75, and so he actually has the 2 most valuable cards ever sold. I think the next one was like 1.76.
Okay.
But yeah, so he has one at 3.75, then 1.76, and then the next one was Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr, I'm gonna say $750K.
Okay.
I would say 350K.
350K? Okay. James was right. Bobby Orr had the 3rd most expensive card ever sold, and it was at $276,000.
Oh wow.
So that's almost a $3 million difference, which is, I find, just
Quite a
absurd.
gap.
I don't understand why that's such a big difference. I think that Wayne Gretzky is just such a god of the sport, where people are just like, he is worth that much, you know? He's just been that much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1-1. Okay, Connor McDavid.
75,000.
Okay.
I'd say 110,000.
Okay, so both of you weren't close. It was James. It was 228,000.
Oh wow.
So they're a bit closer after Wayne.
Wow, that's shocking.
I'm just surprised that
So, yeah, we
the
went from-
David card went for that much.
Yeah, I know. It was like one of the first ones ever created. I think it was a signature on there.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess the signature's worth a lot too. So now it's 2-1 James. How much do you think the Gordie Howe won?
110K.
Okay.
So the last one was
220.
225.
Yeah. It was actually 228. I read that wrong. My handwriting's
Okay,
really bad.
I'll say for Gordie Howe, I'll say 175.
It was 205.2. So James won again. That's 3-1. I'll let you just to make it exciting. Let's do the last one.
Sid the Kid at
Sid the
170.
170?
Yeah.
170 and $1.
The damn price is
You
right
went
out here.
You went the wrong direction.
Yes!
It was actually 164,000.
Okay.
That's pretty close.
So we went from 3.75 for Wayne, and then you had another one like mid 1 million something, and then Bobby Orr 276, Connor McDavid 228, Gordie Howe 205.2, and then Sidney Crosby 164. So I guess there definitely is a market for hockey cards because that's worth a lot of money.
Yeah. It's funny though, if you add up the other 4, they don't even equal.
No, they don't even equal Wayne's card.
That must have been one special card. That
Yeah.
3.75.
You could retire off any of those cards.
That's more than he made in his early career.
Literally. Anyways, so the way we're going to do this podcast today is we're just going to interview James. I know he's got a lot of great information about hockey cards, and we've have some preset questions, but hopefully they're going to spark some conversation, and we'll definitely learn a lot about the hockey card collection process. So I know, Matt, you have the questions.
Yes. So could you give us some history on hockey cards?
Yeah, so, I mean, hockey wasn't the first sport to produce cards. I mean, baseball was before hockey. And initially, it was a way for companies to sell products. So specifically, cigarette companies would stick in a card and be an incentive for someone to go buy cigarettes.
So smokers have the most rare cards.
Early on. Yes.
They're probably dead from smoking, but
Yeah, hindsight might not have been a good idea, but
Gotta get that new card.
marketing was different back then. It was
I guess I'll start smoking.
Need that rookie card.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I mean, companies started doing this, and then eventually you got to the stage where card companies started producing them on a regular basis as a set.
Okay.
So that's, one of the early companies that's, if you want to call it the modern era of card collecting, was Parkhurst. And they came out with, annual sets after the hockey season. So they would produce stats on the back of the hockey card based on what happened the last year.
Yeah.
And then they would produce one for each player in each team. Back then, there were only 6 hockey teams, the original 6.
Do you know what year they started?
Well, most guys will refer back to the early 50s.
Yeah.
For listing full sets. There were definitely some from the 20s and 30s and earlier than that, but it became kind of official in the early 50s.
Yeah.
So you talked about the Gordie Howe rookie card. I think that was 1951.
Holy
So
smokes.
that's when it came out.
That's old.
Wayne Gretzky, on the other hand, was 1979-80. That was the season. So quite a big gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you weren't getting the cigarette cards back in the day, but when did you start collecting cards?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, that was it was a cool thing to do. We would walk to the corner store and bring a pocket full of change with us, and you could buy a pack of hockey cards back then for about 10 cents.
Damn.
And they would be covered in a wax package, so you would have this wax wrapper, depended on the year, but you'd get like about 10 cards inside, and you'd get a stick of gum. So that was the big thing. You'd go buy about 5 packs of cards, and you'd open them all up and go right for the gum. You'd pick the gum, and you'd just shove it in your mouth, and it's this bad old gum. It was hard as a rock. You put it in your mouth, and it just crumbles. So you're chewing away on this gum, and you got all 5 pieces in your mouth, and you're chomping away trying to get it soft enough so that you can blow a bubble or something. And then you start looking through your cards, and you're salivating because you got so much gum in your mouth, and you're going through it, and you're looking through, I need that one. Oh yeah, my team. So it was a big deal, and the production quality was a lot worse in the 70s. This would be the 70s for me.
Yeah.
So you'd look at each 10th card, which was at the end of the package, and it's got this big wax stain all over it.
Oh, damn, because of the wrapping.
Because of the wrapping. It applied to the top card and the bottom card. So when you look through older sets of cards, you'll see these big stains on them. And what it is it's the wax from the wrapper. That eventually they figured out, maybe, I don't know, the 90s, hey, let's make it into something other than wax so that we don't stain the cards. So that's a
good idea.
Yeah. Back in the days that I was collecting, primarily the 70s and 80s, there was, in Canada, you had O-Pee-Chee, which was a confectionery company. They produced hockey cards. They also made other candies. And in the United States, the producer was Topps.
Yeah.
So they always had similar cards. Like, I think they pooled resources. So they shared the pictures, and you'd have the American version, which was Topps, with a dark back, and the Canadian version, which was O-Pee-Chee, would have the same picture on the front, but a light back.
Oh, okay.
So it was the same pictures, it was just a different brand.
Most years, yeah. Sometimes Topps did have their own original pictures.
Yeah.
But, Topps was more about the baseball cards and the football cards.
Yeah, well, I guess that was definitely bigger in the States anyways.
Totally.
So
quite often, you'd look at the Canadian set, the O-Pee-Chee set, and the Topps set, and the O-Pee-Chee set would be 396 cards, and the Topps set was like 190. They didn't make the Canadians.
They didn't care about the other ones, yeah. Was the gum at least in a wrapper, or was it just thrown in?
Oh, no, just right on top. And it had like this coating on it, like this flour coating. Maybe that was supposed to protect it, I'm not sure.
Oh, man.
But it would get all of the cards, too, like the residue from the gum. So
I wonder if you could still buy those packs with the piece of gum in there.
You can. You can find them. Yeah, some people still have.
Is it the same gum from back in the day?
Yes, they can't take it out.
We gotta buy a pack and have a piece of gum during our next podcast and see who goes out first.
It would kill you.
Whoever lasts the longest wins.
Oh, man.
That would be so toxic.
That would be really bad for you.
And so you said there's Topps and O-Pee-Chee. Isn't there a new one now? Or is it?
Oh, there's lots of them now.
Okay.
So in 19, I want to say 1991. That's when there became a real card collecting craziness, a frenzy. And the number of card producing companies went from 2 to like 10.
Oh, wow.
So that's when Upper Deck came out. And Upper Deck is probably the biggest name in card production now, but they revitalized the Parkhurst brand, which was extinct. It was dormant for many years. They revived it. Fleer came out. And some of these companies that existed producing baseball cards in the U.S., but 1991 was the year where all of these companies started producing hockey cards because it was all the rage. You could go to a conference and you'd get thousands of people showing up in an arena with all the vendor tables set up, just trading cards.
Damn.
And it was quite the time.
Did you, when you were like back in the day, you said like 70s, 80s, would you trade the cards with your friends? Like, was that like a thing? Because I know like back in the day, like I didn't really collect hockey cards as much, but I was a big Pokemon guy. And I know for a fact, like if I had a card that might have been worth something, but I didn't want him, I don't know why, because maybe his HP was low or I didn't like the way he looked, I would like trade it with my friend, you know? So was that kind of a thing?
Oh yeah, no, recess time at school.
Yeah.
Everybody brought out all the boys. Anyways, the girls didn't collect cards, but the boys would break out the hockey cards, and not only would we trade them, we played games with them.
Oh yeah.
So this is not good for collecting.
No.
But the game we would play, we would get our cards out and we would throw them at the wall, and whoever ended up closer to the wall got to keep both cards.
Oh.
So there was a skill, but by the time you're done playing, your cards are all bent to shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, the true collectors did not appreciate the cards coming from kids because they're all the corners were bent and there's snow stains.
Do you have any of those cards still?
No, I got rid of them all when my mom made me shoot them out. I think. For bad behavior.
Pretty sure I lost a bunch of my Pokemon cards due to mom problems. Anyways,
I remember going to like tournaments still, like when I was younger, and there was all the vendors like set up with hockey cards and like different knick-knacks and stuff.
Yeah, it still exists.
So
it's just not as popular as it was in the 90s when it was a real mania.
Yeah. And how much have cards changed over the years?
Well, the production quality has gone up a lot. Like if you look at the stuff that was produced in the 50s, I mean, it's bad cardboard. The pictures are out of focus. The comments on the cards are usually pretty bad, if they had any. But the graphics and the composition of the cards has gone from a cardboard to, some type of paper composite. I don't even know what they're made of.
Yeah.
Some type of polymer or something.
Okay.
So the quality is much more. And again, if you go back to the early days, some would have jagged cuts along the edge, or there was the wax stains, or it was out of focus, or it was miscut. So, half the player's face. So nowadays, I mean, every card comes out perfect. They're perfectly wrapped. When you open it, there's not a flaw on the card. And then some of the other innovations that they've done, when you went from just the old cards, which would have a picture and some stats on the back, they started incorporating other elements into the cards. So different shapes, different sizes, die cuts, so you could make like a picture of the shape of the card.
That's cool.
And then incorporating materials into the cards, so you could get game-used cards, a piece of a player's uniform, stitched right into the card.
So I'm pretty sure one of the, I think it was the Sidney Crosby card, it has a piece of his jersey, which instantly adds value to the card.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't make too many of those, right? Because there's only so many jerseys to go around.
Yeah. I think that's great, though. I think that's a cool part about the
game. The industry has been very good at coming up with new ways. The insertion of autographs as well was another, it's kind of a random thing. So when you're opening it and you get the autograph card, it's like, score, I hit the jackpot.
I still remember vividly watching at the Pumpin' Patio in Mississauga. A lot of our viewers won't know about it, but it's a bar down in Clarkson. Watching Martin Brodeur break the record for the most wins ever in the NHL.
Yeah.
And as soon as the game's over, he cuts the full net off the back of the net. Do you see that too? Yeah. I'm almost certain like some of that's got to be in hockey cards.
Cards, other memorabilia, like you can make other. You can have,
Brodeur was just like, he's like, this is my retirement.
I have a framed photo of Alfie and Chris Phillips' 1,000th game with the Sens, and it has pieces of net in it.
Yeah.
for both their games.
I have
Could be
one
in there
from
as
the Stanley Cup in 1990. Was it 2002 or 97? But one from the final game when the Red Wings won the Cup.
net? Yeah.
It's a piece of game-used net.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. So, what would be your most valuable card?
I do have a Gretzky rookie.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So
$3.75 million?
It was him. That's what I bought it.
That's what I paid for it. So unfortunately, I have the Topps version, the American version.
Okay.
It's not worth as much as the Canadian one, but that's probably, when you were quoting the two prices, 3.75 and 1.6, the 3.75 was probably the Canadian one.
Yeah.
And the 1.6 was the US one. So I have the US one, but it's in pretty good shape. I can still remember buying it. I bought it on eBay.
Yeah.
And I think I paid probably more than 20 years ago. I paid about $100 US for it.
Damn, that's not bad.
Crap.
And it's definitely, do you think the price has gone up since?
Oh yeah, I'd say, I'd get at least $1,000 for it now.
Damn, do you have it with you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Oh, no way. Maybe we could show it to the viewers.
I've got my...
Let's play the card game with it. Throw it at the wall.
Let's throw it at the wall.
I want it.
This is where I keep all my valuables, in a shoebox.
What type of shoes?
Well, hockey card shoes. But this is basically all the rookie cards that I keep. These are the most valuable ones that I have. I threw in a few extras just for this.
We'll go through the other ones later. I just want to see that Wayne Gretzky
I'm going to pull up the Wayne Gretzky rookie. So I'll let you guys show it to the screen, but that's the babe.
That's awesome.
So it's in a screw-down container so that you really can't damage it.
Yeah.
It's kept in a shoebox to keep the light out of it so it doesn't, change the color
Is
of
it
the
mint
card.
condition? Or?
No, it's not. I would say it would grade on a scale from 1 to 10. It probably grade as a 7.5 or 8.
Okay.
Which is pretty good.
It seems like no one's thrown it at a wall.
Well, you can throw it at a wall in that container.
The wall will probably take the worst of this. All right, let's show it. That's a young baby Wayne. Rookie card.
Yeah, so that was his first year in the NHL. He did have 1 year in the WHA before that.
I'm holding more money in my hands right now than I have in my bank account. 110 points, 60 games played. Pretty crazy. Connor Bedard, you're never going to be as good as him.
He was a game changer. He
Pretty
really
awesome.
was.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's my most valuable card.
So, what would you say your collection's worth then? Would you know, or?
I don't spend a lot of time valuing what I think it's worth, but in my collection, it exists. Most of it is from the 70s and 80s, so I don't have many modern cards. I don't have anything that's too old or too valuable. But I would say overall, it's probably somewhere between 15 and 25,000.
Oh, wow. Holy shit!
And it's being willed to my daughter.
I was gonna say, I got like $10 in my bank account, Dad. Settle a card.
So how would one figure out the worth of their collection? Would they have to go through every card and just kind of look online? And
Well, it depends how you plan to sell it. I mean, if you sell cards individually, you might get slightly better prices.
Okay.
Or you could sell them as a set. Like you could sell the 1979-80 set, which has a Wayne Gretzky rookie in it. If you were to sell just the rookie card, you might get $1,500 for it. But if you sell the set, you might get $2,000 for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would probably, if I was to try and value it, I'd go through each year of the set that I have. Say, well, okay, I know that one's worth $500, that one's worth $800, that one's worth $1,000, and add it up that way. But there is a guide, like the Beckett guides were the again during that era where there were so many cards being produced and it was a real frenzy. If you could pass me that Beckett guide, Robbie, this is from the 90s when they were in their heyday. You could go to the any retail outlet that had magazines and get a copy of that. They came out every month, and they were supposed to update the prices for each set. And they don't list every card in every set, but it's a magazine. You can flip through it. You can see they've got the cards in it, black and white pictures, of course, so not that great. But you could go through and say, okay, let me look at the 1970, 76, 77 O-Pee-Chee set. There's a picture of what the card looks like.
Yeah.
It tells you what the set is worth, both on the low end or the high end. And then it goes through and lists all of the key players in that set.
Oh.
So this used to be, you would look forward to the release date of the new magazine, see it's changed. And you can see they'll have little up arrows or little down arrows if there was a change in the prices, so you can see the arrows there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. How do you think,
awesome.
like, how are they making those prices, though? Is that, like, just one random guy? He's like, sounds about right. Or is
You have to wonder.
Yeah.
But
who let that guy have all the power?
if you look through it, I mean, the older cards don't change as much.
Yeah.
It's more of the modern cards. So if some guy, has a lousy rookie year, and then has an amazing second year, his card value goes way up because his popularity increases. So, I mean, it's easy to watch, some of the things that are done on eBay or some of the other trading networks where you can see the prices where transactions occur. And you can say, okay, that Gretzky price, it keeps going up. So that'll be reflected in the guide because they can see actual transactions.
That's very
Do you
cool.
still get the guide every year? Or...
This is my most recent guide.
And or Brett Hall's on the front?
Yeah. Brett's now about 300 pounds heavier. But he's enjoying life.
Brett, if you're watching, you look slim, I swear.
So January 1996, these prices are a little out of date. I need a new magazine.
Yeah.
It's another example of something that has gone digital, though. Like, so if you want an online guide,
you can
just
go
sign
online.
up for it online.
Yeah.
So that I don't think they sell a lot of the magazines anymore.
No. Well, maybe I'll get you that subscription for Christmas. And if you're wondering why Matt and I and James are wearing these Christmas hats, it's because this is actually our Christmas special.
Oh!
We hope to be getting this out around Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day. Maybe something you can watch during dinner or after dinner. Maybe make it a Christmas tradition with your family. The Puck Paddlers Christmas special.
And the only reason I'm in a Red Wings jersey is because it's red.
Yeah.
Not like the Sens are red as well.
Matt asked to wear that jersey.
Alright.
That's awesome.
So, what's the last card you would have bought? Do you know, or was it recent? Or?
Well, I had a whole set delivered today.
Oh!
That's coincidental, but I think, I bought something about 2 weeks ago, and it took 2 weeks to ship, and that's why it just arrived now. But in terms of what I'm trying to collect right now, I'm trying to fill out some of the sets that I don't have complete yet. So I have every card from the 1980s that was made by O-Pee-Chee, I have it, with the exception of the Wayne Gretzky 79-80 rookie card.
Okay.
I got to save up for that one.
Yeah.
But some of the sets that I don't have from the 70s, specifically 1970, 71, 71, 72, and 72, 73, I don't have full sets. I have about, depending on the year, 30 to 50 cards missing. So I'm trying to collect those ones and finish off those sets.
Okay.
So you have every single card but a Wayne Gretzky rookie in the 80s.
That's right. From the O-Pee-Chee. I don't care about the tops.
So was that would imply that you have a Mario Lemieux rookie?
That's correct. Yes, I do.
And he's not your most valuable card?
No, the Gretzky card's worth more.
Yeah. Really?
We just went through this, Robbie.
I know we just went through this, but I'm just like, I feel like...
Mario didn't make top 5.
I guess
Sid was above him.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. Stupid. All right, my bad.
So, how's the popularity of card collecting changed over time?
It goes in cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned the early '90s was a mania. Like everybody was doing it. There were conferences everywhere. You could go to any store would have like a card section in it. Like Walmart would have some private dealers working in the corner of it. It was really out of control in the early '90s. But it comes and goes. It's kind of like recently when inflation was getting really bad, prices of cards started going up. So that got more people interested. I mean, that's really recently, within the last year. But it's dying off already. You could see the prices coming back down.
Damn interest rates.
Blame the Bank of Canada.
It's all on Trudeau.
Ruined the entire industry. So yeah, I mean, it's if you had a new innovation, when the jersey cards first started coming out, that was quite popular. So that got people interested. If you were to have, some new kind of collectible that comes out as part of a package, that might get some interest. Or if you get a new phenomenal hockey player, maybe if Bedard's going to be the next coming of Wayne Gretzky, maybe that'll get a new generation. I said maybe. Maybe
110 points, Bedard. That's the mark. In 60 games.
in
So
one
stop
game.
once you get there.
Oh, look at this breakaway.
Oh,
Oh, no, that's bad.
yeah.
Leafs are losing in this video, by the way. It's a good day. All right, yeah, sorry, you were talking?
No, I was done.
So, what are there different types of like card collectors? Would you say, or
Oh, definitely. So most of the card trading that I do, if you want to call it that, is done on eBay.
No longer the game?
No, I don't go to the playground anymore. I stopped having a recess 40 years ago. The people that you see on eBay, you do start to see the same names.
Yeah.
And you know the areas that they specialize in. So not everybody specializes in every
It's like a
single
community.
Kind of, yeah. Seller's community. But, some people will specialize in only modern stuff. Some will specialize on an era like the 70s or, Montreal cards only, those kinds of things. So you get these circles of people that specialize in something. And within each circle, you're going to have like the dealers, the ones who are buying and selling all the time and trying to make a profit. You'll get the collectors that are only in buy mode. And then you might get a combination. So people that are, trying to collect sets. So someone like me, I will buy stuff that I already have. If I have to buy a lot of 50 cards to get 5 that I need, that means I've got 45 cards that I don't really need.
Yeah.
So I'll try and just get rid of them somehow.
So do you like have a lot of duplicates that you're trying to get rid of?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a natural consequence. Unless you're actually buying complete full sets and that's what you want, one at a time. It's quite often when you buy a set on eBay, it might be missing a couple cards. Yeah. So then you got to try and find those cards, and it's tough to find certain cards.
You get a discount though, right? If it's
you get good deals and bad deals. Sometimes you have to overpay to get a card, especially if it's rare and doesn't come up very often.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a high-quality Bobby Orr rookie card on eBay. I mean, I don't look every day, but that's just, I've never seen one. Whereas you see Wayne Gretzky ones all the time. Not always
in good quality.
rated a 10,
Yeah.
but there's just the availability is much greater. So it really depends on what you're looking for, what you're collecting. And, you could get lost. You could spend days on there every week just looking for stuff. I mean, it settles down in the summertime because it's not a summer sport. But card collecting it tends to go with the season.
It's a cyclical business.
Seasonal.
Yeah, same thing. Anyways, where are you like headed to next? What's your next goals in the card collecting industry?
Well, quite honestly, I feel like I'm pretty close to the end of the journey. I set...
There's always more cards.
Oh, I know, but I set a goal. I had a hiatus from collecting. So I've gone in spurts. Did it when I was a kid. And then I probably stopped in my teen years. Picked it up again in kind of the university era. And then went through the craze in the 90s. And then it died down, so I stopped collecting. Picked it up again in the early 2000s when I didn't have a job. Spent lots of time on eBay. Not looking for a job.
You needed an income somewhere.
So
Selling cards.
Eventually I got a job, so I stopped collecting again.
I'm sure Mom was happy when you stopped working and decided to pick up professional card collecting.
Do not tell Mom. She still does not know.
She thought you were working.
Looking for a job, honey?
No, I'm actually the CEO of TD Bank, I swear.
So eventually I did get another job, stopped collecting again for a while. And it was really just a couple years ago when I picked it back up again. I said, you know what? I've got all these unfinished sets of cards. What I want to do is I want to collect every single set from the 70s and 80s in O-Pee-Chee. And once I've got that, I'm done. I'm getting rid of everything else.
Damn.
So I've got lots of surplus from the 90s that I don't really want. I've got lots of duplicates from the 70s and 80s, which I'll eventually get rid of when I've collected everything. And some of the older cards that I have pre-70s, I might keep the odd one, but once I have all that, I don't think I'm going to try and keep up with everything that's been done in the last 20 years. It's just an era I've got it finished. I'm going to stop.
Do you not foresee yourself as an avid Red Wings fan, maybe collecting Red Wings cards?
Well, that was one thing I did. So back in the day, I would say this was probably the university days, or post-university a little bit. I was trying to collect Steve Yzerman cards. So that's all I was collecting was Steve Yzerman cards. He was my favorite player, and I didn't wear my Yzerman jersey because Robbie's wearing it. There you go.
Am I in the screen?
Yeah, I think so. I can't see. You're in my way.
Pretty cool jersey on right now. Winter Classic, Detroit, Steve Yzerman, the captain, the one and only that matters. Anyways, yeah, keep going.
That was his name. It was the captain. He was known as the captain in Detroit. So I can't remember where I was.
You're talking about collecting Steve Yzerman cards.
Oh, yeah. So I had this binder dedicated to just Steve Yzerman cards. And I had, the Beckett guide looking at every one that was ever issued. Because his rookie card was 1984-85. I had all of the early ones, but once it got to the 90s, it got really complicated because there was being 10 issued per year, and then special inserts and all-star cards and all these other things. It got really hard to keep track of. So I got to a full binder of just Steve Yzerman cards, so probably a couple hundred. And then, I gave up on that one.
Do you have all the Steve Yzermans now?
Oh, no. I mean, I have probably up to about 93. I've got every single one. And that might be 70 cards.
Holy smokes.
But the predictable ones were the 80s. So 84, 85, 85, 86, right up to 90, 91 when, again, it got nuts. It just became too much.
So you actually have a Steve Yzerman thing here.
So there was one thing that I found back in the 90s at Michael's, of all places. So Michael's craft and hobby store, they had this frame that you can put your cards in, and I figured this would be a perfect thing to put my Steve Yzerman cards in.
So is there a rookie in here?
So the top row are the first five cards ever issued for Steve Yzerman, starting with the oldest on, my right, the viewer's left, I guess. That's his rookie card. So that's 1984-85. The rookie scoring leader is beside that. His second year card, which is the year of the Mario Lemieux rookie, is beside that. Then you've got the 86-87 card, which would be his third year card. And the fourth year card is 87-88, which is coincidentally the first one that I had of Steve Yzerman. I had to get his rookie card afterwards.
Some of these are holographic, and it's making it really hard to show to the camera. But believe me, they're cool.
Can I see that?
Yeah, this is awesome.
So that's
so his Team Canada ones, his All-Star ones, Stanley Cup photos.
Yeah, I tried to get a little bit of everything. So that one's celebrating his 500th goal. That one's a die cut in the shape of 1,000 because it was his 1,000th point. We've got the Team Canada stuff in there. This one is a game-used jersey. You can see the swatch of his jersey.
Yeah.
There's their Team Canada jersey. And then other ones I just thought were, they were nice cards to look at. Either good color scheme or nice clear picture representing a milestone.
Yeah.
So, and then I've got a whole nother binder of,
Steve Yzerman?
200 more of them. But these are in my opinion, these are my 20 favorite.
Yeah. That's really cool.
That's crazy, though, to see, the first one and then the kind of the end, the age difference.
He's aged.
Yeah.
He played for...
we need his GM card in there. What are we doing?
Over 20 years. Yeah, maybe someday that'll come out. I might have to jump back into action if that's the case.
Wow. These are some great cards. Is this his last card?
No. It is towards the end.
Oh, yeah, he looks old.
But, yeah, I don't think... I mean, his last year, I think, was 2005, 2006 season. And I don't really have any cards from that era.
No.
No.
Damn. Well, do you have anything else You want to show us, or do we have any more questions? No, we're all out. Do you have any questions for us?
Whatever happened to all your hockey cards?
Like Matt said, no, like you said, the mom fiasco. Our mother likes to move things, and I don't really know where anything went in my room. So they're probably in there somewhere. I just have to look a bit harder. I wanted to show a couple cards. I know I have a pretty rare Pavel Datsyuk card with his jersey on it. Don't know where that is. The only card I know where it is a Steve Yzerman card. I have 2 of them. They're in a frame much smaller than that because there's only 2 of them. But I believe there's a piece of jersey in there also. So don't steal that, please.
I'm sure he's the one who gave it to me.
Matt, do you collect cards?
I do. I haven't in a long time, but like I have a binder full of them. Not as many binders as James here, but
you don't have $25,000 worth of cards. What are we doing?
No, but I've got a pretty big binder full of cards. I was telling him when we were on break there. I used to collect as a kid. Like, I'd buy some sets, more modern stuff, like around when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then get just, like, cards when I went to tournaments and stuff. Just cheap ones. Nothing.
Honestly, I don't know where even to get cards anymore. Because I wanted to get you a gift for coming on. I wanted to get you a set of, like, old cards.
Oh, what did I get?
You got our company. You got a podcast, but
memories. I have memories.
I don't know where to get cards anymore. Like, I feel like right now it's very hard to buy collecting cards, and I think kids are missing out on it right now almost.
Well, the newer cards you can get at like Walmart and stuff.
Exactly. You can buy a box of them if you want.
Yeah, I don't go to Walmart very often. More of a Metro guy. So
eBay. You can always buy them on eBay.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the early 90s, there were card shops everywhere. Like, every town probably had 3 or 4 card shops. Now, they're kind of hard to find. There's still a few of them. Like, I know there's 401 Games in Vaughan has a card. I mean, they have other stuff, too.
That's where I got my Magic the Gathering cards from.
Yeah, well, they have other stuff, too, but they do have a sports section.
I don't know if they have a sports section, but there's a card, like, trading card game in Oakville.
I feel like sports cards have almost been overshadowed by, like, different types of collecting, like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, like, whatever the thing you just said.
Well, Magic the Gathering's a fun game.
Magic the Gathering. No, I'm not shitting on Magic the Gathering. I'm just saying, like, I feel like sports cards have kind of been overshadowed by other types of collecting cards. Like, I know... I'm almost positive. You can fact check me on this, but I feel like the most expensive Pokemon card of all time is way more expensive than the most expensive sports card of all time.
That's a good question. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, we think from the Canadian perspective.
Yeah.
What's popular in Canada? Hockey.
Yeah.
It's gospel here.
Yeah.
But what's popular in Japan or what's popular in China?
Well, actually, I think the U.S. has the most expensive Pokemon cards, like a Charizard.
Well, they've got the most money.
Yeah, true. Very true.
They've probably got the most expensive everything.
But I feel like the sports collecting of cards is a dying art.
I don't think that's a fair assessment. And I'm not getting defensive.
No.
I don't really
I love debate. Keep going. Yeah. I took a critical thinking course. I know what to do.
Yeah. Okay, let's challenge you then. Again, based on the activity that I see, the volumes that I've seen, the prices going up over time, there's continued interest. I don't know that the kids are doing it at recess like I used to do. There's other interests. You know, everything's digital now. Maybe they just trade cards on their phones.
I feel like kids nowadays are throwing their iPods at the wall instead.
Mine's closer.
Yeah, mine's closer. Give me your iPod. They don't know how to, like, act real in world.
Yeah. Different generation.
Very different generation.
Good point.
What did you say?
So do iPods even exist anymore?
Probably not. I'm guessing grade 2s probably have iPhones at this point. I don't even know. I don't want to know. Stay away from that generation. Anyways, well, yeah, but I know the prices are going up. But as you said, like, there's a community almost on eBay. Like, you're seeing the same names pop up. Like, I feel like the amount of collectors right now is slowly falling. As they age, as they get what they want, it's slowly a declining trend, and I feel like I don't know. It's a digital world now. We don't have as much sentimental value for physical things almost. So I feel like it's kind of a dying.
Well, that might be the next leg for card collecting. Maybe it becomes digital cards.
NFT cards.
It's possible.
I'm going to start an NFT card business. Invest.
Okay, good luck with that.
I'm not. Don't buy my NFTs.
You gotta get the 70s and 80s in there or I'm out. Yeah, I don't know. You do have to keep getting the next generation to keep the people interested in it and make sure there's always going to be a market for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's, if there's money to be made in something, it will attract at least investors.
Yeah.
So some people might see, I don't really view this as an investment. I think of it as a hobby. But some people will buy cards as an investment.
It's almost like people who collect art.
Same concept, yeah. Because, hockey cards it's a physical good, right? You don't make profit from it. It's not a business.
It's not paying you income.
It doesn't have interest. It's not a financial asset.
Yeah. Unless you rent it out to somebody. Like, I got this card for a month.
Yeah. Gotta give it back. Take it out for a spin.
I took a mortgage out on my Wayne Gretzky card.
So the only way to make money is to sell it for more than you bought it for.
Yeah.
And art is the same concept, right?
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't do anything. It just sits.
What's that type of investment? A collector's investment, or what's it called again?
I would call it an alternative investment.
Alternative investment?
Because it's not a financial asset. It's not a debt instrument.
Yeah.
It's it's a good that if supply is less than demand, then you can make money on it.
Yeah, and I think definitely as they age, they'll become more rare, and they will increase in value. But I think right now, like it's a dying art. But on the contrary, you do have Connor McDavid as the third most valuable hockey card of all time. So you could there's definitely people still out there collecting cards, and there's money in it. But I feel like the full aspect of collecting sets and getting your favorite player and getting the quantity of cards might be falling off, but maybe just the rarity of those anomalies is still there,
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot like history has shown. It goes in cycles, It becomes popular, people lose interest. Becomes popular, people lose interest.
Yeah.
And whether it's tied to financial cycles when people have lots of money and lots of time on their hands, or like I said, if a new superstar in the sport comes out that attracts people and interest, and the innovations that the industry can do, so keep creating new stuff. People always want new stuff.
Yeah, we need innovation in the hockey card sector. We need a Wayne Gretzky. Give me Bedard. Get 300 points next season. I'll buy your card. That's what I'm saying.
I'm definitely going home and looking at my cards.
You get
my
home.
interest
You want to borrow my 1996 Beckett guy?
Hey, I don't know if any of my cards will fall in that category, to be honest.
Oh, that's funny. Do you have anything else you want to show us?
Well, I brought. We've got the other cards in the valuable shoebox here that might be worth showing.
The valuable shoebox. These are way more than your Yeezys.
So I'll just pass them out. So there's an autograph card. That's Shane Doan. You guys might not know Shane Doan.
I know Shane Doan.
Okay, all right. So
Shane Doan's in our generation.
Yep. So he was. That was an autograph card that I got out of a pack. It's one of these things where you might get one in a whole box. I was lucky enough to get one. It was a decent player. Sometimes you'll get some player you never heard of.
So how much would an autograph add to the value of the card?
It depends. So some autographs have stated print runs, so only 50 were ever made, or it'll be numbered number 32 out of 50.
Yeah.
Others might have 1,000. So scarcity is always worth a premium. The fewer that are made, the more it's worth. Or if you get so Shane Doan was number 19. If you got number 19 out of 50, it might be worth more than number 20.
Okay.
So, it's people will pay weird things for weird prices. This is another autograph card, but it's like the old school autograph, an actual autograph.
Brian Trottier.
Brian Trottier.
That's an 1,000-point score.
Another number 19.
Look at that.
So that, and I did not get that actual autograph from Brian. I did actually meet Brian Trottier.
That's a ballpoint pen right there.
Yeah. So that would have been, at some kind of event or maybe even at a hockey game where he stopped to sign autographs. He's the nicest guy in the world. And a really good player, too. He won a lot of cups with the New York Islanders, played with Pittsburgh, became involved in management of hockey. Then some game use stuff. So here's a piece of game used puck.
Oh, wow.
You don't see too many of those.
Is that Chris Osgood?
That's Chris Osgood and Steve Yzerman, yeah. So
you can always recognize that mask.
Lots of Detroit themes here.
It's a piece of puck.
Then this one is a combination. So you've got game-used jersey and game-used stick of the greatest player ever to be on the back of Robbie's shirt.
Oh, I know. The best leader ever.
That's cool. Game-used stick. That's pretty cool.
And then this one's, again, special to me.
It's probably a Titan, eh? What type of stick did Steve use?
He had a few different ones. Louisville in the early days, believe it or not.
Game-used stick?
Louisville's more known for their baseball bats, I think.
Very cool.
And then here's a multiplayer jersey. So this is back in the era post Steve Yzerman. But Henrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsyuk, and Nick Lidstrom.
Holy smokes.
That's the powerhouse trio that won them the 2008 Cup that I almost got to see delivered live at the Joe Louis Arena, but missed it by one game.
The Euro line. That's awesome.
So all three together. You can have cards that have as many as 8 different jersey clips. And they don't have to all be on the same team either. Like you might get all the top stars from a specific year.
You have a Pavel Datsyuk rookie too, right? I want to see that one.
Yeah, I've got one in here.
We're big fans of Pavel, so we need to see that one.
So we've got two Pavel jerseys back to back.
Pavel! Matt's still naming his kid after you.
I mentioned that you have these ratings for cards, right, between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
And there are various companies that do nothing but rate cards. So Beckett is the same one that produces the guide. They also evaluate cards, so you can send them to it, and they'll put a rating on it. Sometimes you don't like the rating you get. Sometimes it's a really good rating, but it's going to totally affect the value of the card, and it gives it a much more credibility. So if you're buying it off eBay and you see it's got a near mint or mint rating, which could be a 10, it could be a 9, it could be an 8, you know it's been valued and it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will advertise, great looking card, no problems, perfect edges, perfect this. You get it, and there's like a crease down the middle of it.
Well, they were just talking about the edges. They didn't say about the crease.
Really? Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it's ripped in half.
So here's my Pavel Datsyuk rookie. You can see the rating on that one.
Oh, wow. It comes with the rating. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
It is the only 10 rated card that I have. So that was bought on eBay. I didn't actually buy the card and sent it to him. It came rated. The company that rated it is not the most well-known rating company, but
it was rated by James Gauthier.
It says ratings. 10, yeah. JRG ratings, yeah. So you saw the one Steve Yzerman rookie.
You have more than one?
There's another one. There's another one.
Oh, wow.
There's a graded one. I've got 2 more upstairs.
Oh, 7? Come on.
Yeah. Well, Steve Yzerman would be pretty expensive to get a 10 rated Steve Yzerman rookie card.
Wow. Stevie Y, get on the pod.
Calling Stevie.
calling you out, Stevie. Get on here. 80 games played, 87 points.
Ooh. So we talked about that player before.
That's pretty cool. Like he was a more than a point per game player in his rookie year.
Yeah, and he did not win Rookie of the Year.
Who did?
Tom Barrasso beat him out. He came second.
The goalie?
Yeah.
The recently Hall of Fame inductee?
Steve got into the Hall of Fame first.
Yeah, well, that's all.
I don't think Barrasso belongs there, but I know you guys have already...
We already touched on how many goalies got put in the Hall of Fame this year.
Dig that back up.
Stupid.
So there's the Mario Lemieux rookie.
Okay.
So that's probably my second most valuable card.
How much would this one be worth?
It's pretty good quality. I'd say that's probably 350, 400.
Okay. Quick disclaimer for our viewers. We are showing all of these cards, so if you're just listening, it might be worth your while to flip back, watch the video, see what we're showing, because it's some pretty cool stuff.
This is the show and tell period.
Yeah, it's the show and tell. I didn't bring anything. I'll show you my beer, but...
So there's the second-year Wayne Gretzky card.
Oh, damn.
Which also happens to be the year of the Mark Messier rookie card.
This is Mark Messier rookie?
That's Mark Messier rookie.
This one's got to be worth some money.
It's over 100, but not crazy.
Yeah. Mark Messier did not produce in his first year.
But that whole era, like the Oilers era...
Looked like Slender Man.
When they were winning cups. This is before they started winning cups because they were so young. Took a couple years for them to figure it out, kind of the mid-'80s. But, yeah. Also from that era, Yari Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Coffey, Grant Fuhr, they were all in the subsequent years. So
that was a powerhouse.
Their rookie cards all here.
137 points in his second year? No, that was his first year.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's wild. McDavid.
He did good.
He did good. Are these all Wayne Gretzky's?
No, those are the other
all...
Oilers from that same era. They're all rookie cards. So the Gretzky rookie was 79-80. Messier was 80-81. Curry was 81-82. Paul Coffey was 81-82.
Paul Coffey.
82-83.
Yari Curry, I remember reading that he faced a lot of problems coming to the league because he was one of the first European players, I'm pretty sure, in the league. And people were not
high profile.
Yeah,
sure.
People were not happy with that.
Yeah, no. There was, Boreas Salming was before him.
Okay.
Toronto Maple Leafs had Boreas Salming and Inga Hammerstrong in the early to mid 70s. And they were kind of the icebreakers.
Yeah.
Later on, it was the Russians, when the Russians started coming, because they were quite a few years after the Swedes. Because, Sweden is it's a friendly country politically. Russia was kind of a political enemy.
Yeah.
The communists.
What was it like back then? Did you find a lot of people were discriminating, or like how would you say people kind of took it?
No, I think most people were excited about it.
Yeah. Because that was when like the USSR and Canada had the Summit Series. Like that would have been electric. Like you finally have all the best players in the same league.
So 1972 was the first international series. That was the Summit Series.
Yeah. That's
where Canada beat the Russians in a very unlikely outcome. They were outclassed.
Yeah.
But they bullied the Russians and beat them with gutsy play.
The Russians probably had no clue what was coming either. They probably had like just little pretty boy hockey over in Russia, where in Canada is like...
Bobby Clark comes out, takes a stick to somebody's ankle
breaks his ankle. Yeah, it's like... You're not fighting at least 4 times a game, you're soft.
So, different style of play, and it worked. It won them the game, the best of 8 series.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal, but there was really nothing internationally for another 4 years. In 4 years, they expanded the Summit Series between Russia and Canada only to the Canada Cup, which had 6 countries. Okay. So Sweden, Finland, Czechoslovakia.
Was hockey not in the Olympics? No, it was the only amateurs were allowed in the Olympics then.
That's
so
right.
You couldn't have the best playing, I guess.
These were professionals.
It was like Miracle.
Yeah, it was a Miracle on Ice. Yeah.
The American college.
Because all the Europeans were considered amateurs.
Yeah. So that was, the 76 Canada Cup incorporated 6 countries. So it started growing. And then they did it pretty regularly. They had the Canada Cup, and then it became the World Cup because Canada wasn't allowed to own it.
Yeah.
So they expanded to the World Cup, and then they got into the Olympics, and that kind of killed that.
So when did they start coming into the league?
The Russians, I want to say it was around 1990, somewhere around there.
Oh, that's late.
Yeah, maybe it was a few years before that. It was the first guy, I forget his name, but it was he was on Calgary. He was the first one. He was not a big name, but the big names that started coming over.
Fedorov?
It was before Fedorov. It was Fedosov, which was a defenseman, and the KLM line. Krutov, Larionov, and Makarov.
And that was on Detroit.
Larionov ended up going to Detroit.
Yeah.
He didn't come to Detroit originally.
Oh, okay.
But Detroit was the first one to put 5 Russians together on a line. It was the 5-man Russian line.
Yeah.
So they ended up acquiring these guys from other teams. They got Larionov, they got Fedosov, they got Fedorov. They drafted, and they basically smuggled him out of Russia because the other guys were older. I don't think Russia really cared about them exiting.
They already did their time in the war. They were fine.
Yeah, they paid their dues.
Yeah.
Fedorov was a young player, and they were not happy about him leaving.
Yeah.
And he probably had his family threatened and stuff. Or maybe I'm just creating like hate propaganda here. I better stop talking.
You're gonna get
We have a lot of viewers on this podcast. I don't know why.
Looking for me.
Vladimir Putin's actually one of our best viewers. I don't know.
So, anyways, yeah, the Red Wings basically won a cup with the 5-man Russian unit, which Scotty Bowman put together.
Yeah.
That was one of his pet projects, and it won them a cup, literally.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and now, of course, they're
everywhere.
a dime a dozen.
Yeah. Damn. Well, should we end it here?
Yeah.
That was a great podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
This is a lot of
We had
fun.
a blast talking about hockey cards, and
We
glad
look
you could
forward to bringing on more guests, getting more people involved. There's so many levels to hockey, and we do know, I want to say, a good amount of people who are either playing at high levels or who are involved at high levels. So we look forward to getting more guests involved. And yeah, this is the Puck Prattlers podcast.
Indeed it is.
Signing out. Thanks for watching.